Now we are taking some NCERT problems of acid base salt chapter. Now the first question is, you are given three test tubes. The three test tubes contain distilled water, acidic solution and the basic solution respectively. So the solution in this question are, one is distilled water, okay, another one is acidic solution, another one is basic solution, okay, but we don't know what is in each of the test tubes, okay, so we have to identify it. So here already we are given a red litmus paper that is available to identify. So if we put the red litmus paper in one test tube and it gives us no change in color, that means the solution is acidic solution, okay. Now if the color of red litmus paper changes to blue, then it means the solution in this container is base, okay. And lastly, if there is a slight change in the color of red litmus such as purple, then this solution is to be known as the distilled water, okay, got it. So distilled water gives us purple color, acidic solutions gives no change, and basic solutions gives red litmus paper into blue litmus paper, okay. Go to the next slide. Now the second question, that is from page number 22 on NCERT book. The first question is very important question, that is, why should card and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels? So we know brass and copper vessels are the metals, okay, made up of metals. So now next point is, here we are taking card and sour substances. Card and other sour substances contains acid. So therefore, when they are kept in brass and copper vessels, they are made of metal. They react with the acid and liberate hydrogen gas and harmful products. Therefore, it results in spoiling food. Okay, so if we take this food, so it will be very much harmful to our stomach. Why we should not keep sour substances in brass or copper vessels, okay. Now the second question is, which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? Illustrate with an example how will you test for the presence of this gas, okay. So now we are taking the metals as zinc granules, okay, and we are adding the dilute H2SO4 with these granules. After it, shake it and pass the gas produced into a soft solution, okay. Now bubbles of the soft solutions will be formed. Now when a candle is brought near these soft bubbles, then we will see that the bubbles will burn with a pop sound, okay. Here we can see that these soft bubbles contains hydrogen gas, okay, because hydrogen gas burns with a pop sound, okay. So here the equation is, suppose we are taking here Zn granules, that means zinc granules, and adding it with H2SO4. So it gives us ZnSO4 as the sulfate and produces H2, that means hydrogen gas, okay. So it is the reaction between the acid and metal. Here H2SO4 or sulfuric acid reacts with zinc granules, okay, and produces zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Okay, go to the next question. Now the third question is, metal compound A reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce evanescence. The gas evolved extinguishes a burning candle. Write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compounds formed is calcium chloride. Okay, question number 3, as the end product is calcium chloride CaCl2 and the gas formed is carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Now the metal compound A must be calcium carbonate. Okay, so it will be CaCO3 and also it must be reacting with hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. Okay, so calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, that means HCl, gives us CaCl2, that is calcium chloride, then carbon dioxide and H2O, that means water here. Okay, so here metal compound A is CaCO3. Now the next question for page number 25. The question is, why do HCl, HNO3 show acidic characters in aqueous solution while solution of compounds like alcohol and glucose do not show acidic character? We know H plus ion, that is H plus ions in aqueous solution are responsible for acidic character. So here HCl, HNO3, HCl means hydrochloric acid, HNO3 nitric acid, gives H plus ions in water, while alcohol and glucose do not give H plus ion in water. So therefore alcohol and glucose do not show acidic character. Okay, go to the next question. Now the question is, why does an aqueous solution of an acid conduct electricity? In aqueous solution, acid gives hydrogen ion, that is H plus ion, and hydronium ion, that is H3O plus. Okay, so the presence of hydrogen plus ion or hydronium H3O plus ions in the aqueous solution of an acid are the responsible for conducting electricity. Okay, now the third question, why does dry HCl gas not change the color of the dry litmus paper? Actually dry HCl gas does not change the color of the dry litmus paper because it has no hydrogen ion in it. Okay, we know only when acid is added into the water solution, or we can say that in aqueous solution acid releases H plus ions or hydronium ion, H3O plus ion. So here HCl is dry, so therefore that is not aqueous solution, so it does not produce H plus or H3O plus ion, so the color of dry litmus paper does not change here. Okay, go to the next question. The next question is, while diluting an acid, why is it recommended that the acid should be added to water and not water to the acid? So it is very important when you are doing practical in laboratory, you have to keep it all the times. Okay, since the process of dissolving an acid in water is exothermic, okay, so it is always recommended that acid should be added to water. If it is done the other, then it is possible that because of the large amount of heat generated, the mixture splashes out and causes burns. Okay, so that it is recommended that the acid should be added to water, not water to the acid. Okay, the next question, the question 5, how is it concentration of hydronium ions affected when a solution of acid is diluted? When an acid is diluted, the concentration of hydronium ions is 3O plus ions per unit volume decreases. Okay, so that means the strength of acid decreases. Okay, because we know the strength and weaknesses differs when it releases large amount of H plus ions or hydronium ions, or it produces less amount of hydrogen ion or H plus ion and hydronium ions. Okay, go to the next question. So now the question is, how is the concentration of hydroxide ions OH minus affected when excess base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide? The concentrations of hydroxide ions, that is OH minus, would increase when excess base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, excess base. Okay, so that means the concentration of hydroxide ions will increase with the excess base dissolved in the solution. Okay, but it happens to a limited extent only after which the concentrations become also or almost constant. Okay, now the next question. Now we have two solutions A and B. The pH of solution A is 6. The pH of solution A is 6 and pH factor of B solution is 8. So the question is, which solution has more hydrogen ion concentration, which of these acid, and which one of is basic? So we know a pH value of less than 7 indicates that it is an acidic solution, while the greater value than 7 indicates that the solution is a basic solution. Since solution A has more hydrogen ion concentration, solution A is acidic and solution B is basic. Okay, go to the next question. Now the next question is, what effect does the concentration of H plus ions have on the nature of the solution? The more of the concentration of H plus ions, higher the acid nature of the solution, because the acid nature of the solution depends on the concentration of H plus ions. Okay, so if the acid is more stronger, that means the H plus ions are, number of H plus ions are greater or higher. Now question number 3, do basic solution also have H plus ions? If yes, then why they are basic? Basic solutions also have H plus ions, but there are far less in number than OH minus ions. That's responsible for the basic nature. Okay, so in basic solution, the number of H plus ion is less than the number of hydroxide ion, that is OH minus. Okay, that's why they are basic in nature. Go to the next slide. Now the question number 4, under what soil condition do you think a farmer would treat the soil of his fields with quicklime, that is calcium oxide, or slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide, or chalk, calcium carbonate? Okay, so for this question the answer will be, if the soil is too acidic, that means it has the low pH value, then it is treated with materials like quicklime, calcium oxide. Okay, now all these compounds are used when the soil is too acidic. Okay, next question, What is the common name of the compound CaOCl2? The common name of the compound CaOCl2 is bleaching powder. Question number 2. Name the substance which on treatment with chlorine yields bleaching powder. That will be select lime, that is CaOH2, calcium hydroxide. Okay. Go to the next question. Now the third question is, name the sodium compound which is used for softening hard water. The answer will be sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Okay. Now the next question. What will happen if a solution of sodium hydrocarbonate is heated? Give the equation of the reactant involves. So here sodium hydrocarbonate, that means NaHCO3, on heating gives us Na2CO3, that is sodium carbonate, and H2O water and CO2 carbon dioxide gas. Okay, if sodium hydrocarbonate is heated, then sodium carbonate, H2O water and CO2 carbon dioxide will be released as the product. Go to the next question. Write an equation to show the reaction between plaster of Paris and water. Now the chemical formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 and 1/2, it is half H2O. Okay, so when it is added to water, it gives us CaSO4 2H2O. It is known as the gypsum. Okay, so plaster of Paris is here SO4 half H2O. When it reacts with water, it gives us gypsum as the product. Now the question is, a solution turns red litmus blue, its pH value is likely to be 10. The right answer will be 10 because it turns red litmus blue. Okay, so we know when the solution turns red litmus blue, that means the pH value will be greater than 7 because its nature is basic. Question number 2. A solution reacts with cast egg cells to give a gas that turns lime water milky. The solution contains what will be? That will be HCl, hydrochloric acid. Now go to the next question. 10 ml of solution NaOH is found to be completely neutralized by 8 ml of given solution of HCl. If we take 20 ml of the same solution of NaOH, the amount of HCl solution will be required to neutralize it will be how? That will be 16 ml. The next question. Which one of the following types of medicine is used for treating indigestion? The answer will be antacid. Okay, to neutralize the acid property. Next question. Go to the next question. Now the question is, write word equation and then balance equation for the reaction taking place when dilute sulfuric acid reacts with zinc granule. So we are taking zinc and dilute H2SO4. We know it gives us zinc sulfate, that is ZnSO4 in aqueous, and H2, that means hydrogen gas. Okay, got it? Number of atoms of Zn is 1. Here also 1. Sulfate is also the same, and hydrogen, for hydrogen it is also the same. Now we are taking the next. Dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with magnesium ribbon. So if we are taking magnesium ribbon and then HCl, it gives us, that will be 2HCl, it gives us magnesium chloride MgCl2 and releases hydrogen gas also. Okay, so it is also the balance equation, as the number of atoms on the both sides are equal. Okay, go to the next question. Here, dilute sulfuric acid reacts with aluminum powder. So aluminum powder means we are taking Al and we are taking sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, so H2SO4, it will be 3 H2SO4, so it gives us Al2SO4 whole 3 and 3H2. Okay, got it? So it is the aluminum sulfate and hydrogen gas as the product. Now question number D, dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with iron filling. Okay, so here we are taking iron filling as Fe, okay, and then dilute hydrochloric acid HCl, 6HCl, FeCl3 and H2, so it becomes 2 and here it will be 3, that's why the both hand side will be equal. Next question is, compounds such as alcohols and glucose also contain hydrogen but are not categorized as acids. Describe an activity to prove it. So here two nails are fitted on a cork and are kept it in a 100 ml beaker. So it is the 100 ml beaker. Okay, here is the cork, rubber cork. Here is the solution, dilute HCl. We are taking two iron nails here. It is the beaker and we are making a electric path. Okay, so the nails are then connected to the two terminals of a 6-volt battery through a bulb here. It is the battery. Okay, some dilute HCl is poured in the beaker and the current is switched on. The same experiment is then performed with glucose solution and alcohol solution. Okay, so observations is, it will be observed that the bulb glow in the HCl solution and does not glow in the glucose solution. It is the observation. So the result, we are getting HCl's dissociation into H plus and Cl minus ions. We know HCl gives H plus ions and Cl minus ions in the solution. These ions conduct electricity in the solution, resulting in the glowing of the bulb. On the other hand, the glucose solution does not dissociate into ions, therefore it does not conduct electricity. Okay, got it? The conclusion is that all acids contain hydrogen, but not all compounds containing hydrogen are acids. That is why though alcohols and glucose contain hydrogen, they are not categorized as acids. Okay, got it? Go to the next slide. Now the next question is, why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? Actually, distilled water cannot conduct electricity because it does not contain ions, while rainwater conduct electricity as it contains ions due to the presence of dissolved salts in it. Okay, now the next question, why do acids not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? Acid do not show acidic behavior in the absence of water because the dissociation of hydrogen ions formed an acid occurs in the presence of water only. Okay, next question. 5 solution A, B, C, D, E when tested with universal indicators showed pH as 4, 1, 11, 7 and 9 respectively. Which solution is what? So we know if the pH value of any solution is less than 7, that means it is acid. If the pH value is greater than 7, then it is base. And if the pH value is equal to 7, that means it is neutral. Okay, neutral solution. So here the pH value of A is 4, so that means it is an acid. Now the pH value of B is 1, so it is also the acid, acidic in nature, because its pH value is less than 7. But one thing is that the pH value of B is 1 and value of A is 4, so both the values are less than 7, so both are the acidic in nature, but the value of B is 1, so that B is too much strong with the pH value 1. The solution B is the strongly acidic, okay, and A is the weakly acidic. Okay, now C. So C here is 11. The pH value of C is 11. So that means C is the basic in nature. Solution C is basic in nature. Okay. Now the next, D is the pH value of D is 7. So as the pH value of D is 7, that means it is the neutral solution. It is the neutral solution, because we know if the pH value is equal to 7, that means it is the neutral solution. And the last, the pH value of E is 9. As the pH value of E solution is 9, that means it is greater than 7, so the nature of this solution will be basic. Now if we compare C, pH value of C, it is 11, and pH value of E, that is 9. So we can say that the pH value of C is greater, so that we can say that the solution C with pH value 11 is strongly as alkyne, and the solution E with pH value 9 is weakly alkyne. Okay, got it? Okay, so here we can make the arrangement. We can write 11, then 9, then 7, then 4, then 1. Okay, so the pH can be arranged in the increasing order of the concentration of hydrogen ions as this. Okay, now the next question. Equal lengths of magnesium ribbons are taken in test tubes A and B. Hydrochloric acid is added to test tube A, while acetic acid CH3 COOH is added to the test tube B. Amount and concentration taken for both the acids are same. In which test tube will the fizzing occur more vigorously, and why? So we have two test tube A and B. HCl is added to test tube A, and acetic acid CH3 COOH is added to test tube B. Okay, now the freezing will occur strongly in test tube A, in which hydrochloric acid HCl is added, because HCl is a stronger acid than CH3COOH, that means acetic acid, and therefore it produces hydrogen gas at a faster speed, due to which freezing occurs. Okay, the next question is, fresh milk has a pH of 6, pH factor equal to 6, pH equal to 6. Okay, how do you think the pH will change as it turns into curd? Explain your answer. The pH of milk is 6. As it changes to curd, the pH value will reduce because curd is acidic in nature. The acids present in it decreases the pH value. Okay, got your answer? Next question. Question number 12. A milkman adds a very small amount of baking soda to fresh milk. Okay, so the question number 1 is, why does she shifted the pH of the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline? Actually, the milkman shifts the pH of the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline because in alkaline condition milk does not set as curd easily. Okay, next question number B. Why does this milk take a long time to set a curd? Since this milk is slightly basic than usual milk, acids produced to set the curd are neutralized by the base. Therefore, it takes a longer time for the curd to set. Okay, got it? Go to the next question. Next question is, plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container. Why? Explain. The plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container as it absorbs water from the moisture and turned into hard substance called gypsum. Okay, so we know already, we have learned it. CaSO4 and half H2O on heating gives us CaSO4 and 2H2O, that is gypsum. Okay, now the next question is, what is neutralization reaction? Give 2 examples. A reaction in which an acid and base react with each other and neutralizes each other and give a salt and water as the product, then the reaction is known as the neutralization reaction. So if you take the example, that is NaOH and HCl, okay, sodium hydroxide and HCl, hydrochloric acid, it gives us NaCl, sodium chloride and water. Okay, so here NaOH is the base, HCl is the acid. So when acid reacts with base, it neutralizes each other and gives salt, that is NaCl, and water as the product. Okay, again if we are taking another example, suppose KOH and then it reacts with HNO3 nitric acid, gives KNO3, okay, potassium nitrate and H2O, water. Okay, so here potassium hydroxide, KOH is the base, HNO3 is the acid. So when it reacts with acid, it gives us salt, KNO3 as the salt and H2O as the water. Okay, got it? Now the last question is, give 2 important uses of washing soda and baking soda. 2 important uses of washing soda are, it is used in glass, soap and paper industries. And number 2 is, it is used to remove permanent hardness of water. And for baking soda, the points are, when it is heated or mixed in water, it releases CO2 that makes bread or cake fluffy. Okay, number 2, it is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. Okay, so in this lesson we have tried to solve all the NCERT problems from the chapter acid, base and salt. Thank you.